Listen. Dwayne said, how do I... Dwayne, what do I put in the top line? Or your name? What was that? Was she farting or her mouth?
She just swallowed the pork pie meat whole. She didn't even chew it.
Piggy.
You're silly.
Why aren't you watching what I'm doing and supporting? When you make a YouTube channel, I won't support you.
Okay.
You could be testing it, couldn't you? Tell me if you can hear what I'm saying on the microphone. This might not even be working. Or it might have your nagging voice in the background. It's all things you need to work out, isn't it? It's weird, man. Slightly smaller. How can you hear me? I haven't said anything.
You just did a minute.
When? Really? I shared it to Rycro and Dwayne. I didn't share it to Dwayne. I could share it to Dwayne. Share. Send a messenger. Dwayne. How do I use this thing? I'll write that. And, oh, this is weird because it's like you gotta use. Oh. What's that? Very nice, very nice. Cool. Okay. I'm trying to reverse that into there. Hey Dwayne, I think you're my one viewer. How good's that? What shall I do? Part this one up a minute. Jump in this truck. Hey, Rycro. Oh, maybe Rycro's my one viewer. It says I've got one person watching. Maybe Dwayne got bored. What I should have done is waited for a few minutes, because I've just seeded and fertilized this field, so that's why it says fertilized 100%. What are you having? That was manure. So I brought this truck. This is a modded truck. Farm Sim, you can download mods like you can on a PC for GTA kind of thing. There is approved mods, which is great because basically the developers look at all these mods, and anything that doesn't conflict with any licenses that they don't have, they'll put in the game. So obviously they've got the license for MAN, or MAN, so this is created by somebody and they've approved it, so you can download it and put it in the game, which is good. These two pickups are mods. Pickup and lorry, sorry. That is not a mod, but the attachment on the front is. So same with the trailers. These two trailers are both mods that are put in the game. My Fiat tractor, should we have a look? It says 30 hours above the below the speedo. That's 30 hours I've spent in that tractor. That's immense, but it's a fantastic tractor. I love it. And then this is my new one, which we'll get in now, which is 1 hour. All the equipment you can hook up like everything. So if you wanted to, I'll show you really. What do you want to see? Put a thingy and a thingy and tell me what you want to see. This is a crop sprayer, which I think is personally my favourite thing. I do contract missions for other farms with this. I love it because you fill it up with fertilizer or pesticides or whatever. You can unfold it, which is like an art form. I love this. How cool's that? And then we turn on the sprayer. And that's spraying fertilizer. This is fertilizer equipped in the sprayer at the moment, which is fertilizing this field. Needlessly, because I've already done it. One drawback with the game that you can see is on that horizon, you can see this field. The graphics don't go that far. You can see the crop of the next field, for example, there. Just loading up. There is a limit to the graphical capability. I'm on wireless at the moment, streaming this, so again, it probably looks worse, maybe. There's birds. Can I show you now? So yeah, that's my crop sprayer. I can get a tank. That tank, which I'm about to put this down next to it, you can attach to the front of the tractor, which increases Oh shit. You can increase the capacity of the tank. So basically for larger fields where you would normally run out of fluids or whatever. Should probably finish filling up those tanks. So lots of this stuff is modded, just to make life easier in a way. You can buy manure, or you could buy this kind of bunker type thing, or silo, or whatever it is. So this is a mod that somebody's created, which basically you can just go up to here with a shovel and shovel up manure and put it in anything, and then you can use that to spread on the field as fertilizer. So this is saying it's fertilized 100%, it's growing currently, and there's wheat planted. These are grapevines, which is a nice little way to make money. This is your fertilizer, and then these are your water tanks, which you fill up. Same kind of principle for this, which I think is oranges. Oranges or apples. You start with nothing, so you buy these fields, and then you put these sheds on, or whatever equipment. This building here, you can maintain your vehicles. This one here, you can top up your, like if I brought that sprayer over to here, this is where I would get the spray from. Says I've got one viewer now. I guess that's you, right, Crow? Thanks for staying with me, Dwayne Deserter. These trees I planted. Now you can cut the trees down. Where is it? Is it in there somewhere? These trees obviously I planted, so they're not. There you go. That. I'm not going to cut it down because I've planted it, so I don't want to destroy my own tree. But basically, if you don't want to do farming, you can do tree surgery, which is basically cutting down trees, put it that way, and selling it. So if we go to, this is where we buy all the stuff. Once you buy all the stuff, it takes it to, bear with me, these menus will look confusing. So this is where we are currently. This is my farmyard. This is field 20 and 19. This would have been two separate fields that had a line all the way down here. But when you buy a field, you can increase the footprint of the field. So like if I showed you, what would I do? There you go. So there would have been a line down there, and everything right of that is field 20, and everything left of that line would have been field 19. So this slightly different coloured green area is how big the field originally was, whereas now I've increased it to there, and all this. So if I go and stand over here, it's probably the easiest way to explain it. You can see it on the map there. There you go. So this, if you look on the left hand side with the map, this wasn't field before. The field came up to about here where the birds are. So that was the limit of the field. So you can increase that, and then if I was to buy field 18, wrong one, over here, so that's how big field 18 is right now. To buy that, you would buy all of that land, which means you can increase the size of that field by, what was that, about 20% maybe? I don't know. And then you plough it, you cultivate it, you seed it. So obviously let's have a look over here. I've got a plough. It's only a little plough, but there's the plough which you put on the back of the tractor and plough with. That one is a cultivator and it seeds. So let's go, where's a tractor? pull that out. You can unfold it. Now basically that would do like what a plough would do, and it puts the seed in the ground at the same time. Yeah, I don't need to watch it, that's fine, whatever. So that seeds and cultivates. That one basically does the same thing but different types of crop. Forklift there for loading stuff, that's just a handy piece of kit. The combine, you all know what a combine does, so that's fine. Oh, that's the wrong one. How do I get a truck? So another cool thing is that you can pick up trucks. So when you're combining, this has got off-road tyres on it, so when you're combining, basically every now and then you'll have to run up next to the combine so the combine can, if I show you, it'd probably just be easier, wouldn't it? Move this out of the way. So basically, you can unfold it, you can lower the header. Everything's got lights and a radio station. You can turn the radio on as well, which I won't do now. But there is selectable radio stations. I think there's 5. But if we pipe out, basically, if you imagine the truck the other side now, as that is going along, it'll come out that chute. You get in the truck, you open the cover, and it'll fill that trailer up. And then you'll tip it, which I don't think it'll do unless, it won't do it unless there's something in there. But then so basically you're driving along the combine, filling up your trailer, and then once your trailer's full, you take it to a sell point. There's about 4 or 5 different sell points dotted around this map. So there'll be these little symbols, and they all have different prices. So this screen here shows you the prices. The icon, the little symbols across the top, that's the different kind of things. So the thing that looks like the sun, that's sunflower. So the best price for sunflower is grain elevator east, I think. So grain never eat shredded wheat. So grain elevator, there it is. That's that one there. So you find your way along, probably that road, from there. What else can I show you? That just tells you your vehicles and stuff. You don't really look at that screen. That tells you finances. Don't really look much there. That's to do with livestock. This is contracts. This is good. Basically, when you start, you don't have any land unless you buy any, but you can take on jobs. So I like the fertilizing jobs because I get to use my sprayer. So when you're doing that, you can either hire the stuff. So I'll pay £411 to hire that equipment shown, or I can use my own equipment, so I'll save the £411. And it's the same for all the jobs. Every job you can hire the equipment. So even if you start with nothing, you can hire all the stuff to do the job. That's my farm. You can create a new farm, or if this is the thing, if we all did it, we could all come into this map and we could say I would have a farm, Rycrow, Dwayne, Swifty, Compy, anybody could create a farm, and it would be in this map. The only downside to that is that we found out today is whoever is the kind of main host has to be online for everybody else to get onto, which is a bit of a bummer. But if you came online and didn't create your own farm and just worked in my farm, you would come up in this menu, and then I can give you the options, or what's the right word? I can show you, or I can allow you to do things. So I can allow you to buy vehicles, sell vehicles. That's the game settings, which is basically, it's only a couple of things you look at, and there you can speed the time up. You can just make things harder. And there's a bit of a guide there, which is pretty vague. What else can I show you? Like, all this equipment is pretty customizable. Everything can be painted. The trailers can be painted. The chassis on the trailer can be painted. This lorry here has got water tanks on the back. Now this was a mod because basically to fill these water tanks up, you can buy one of these, which will fill up naturally. You don't have to, once you've paid for that, it'll fill up naturally with rainwater in theory. And originally I bought this, which then you can drive up to there, fill it up, then you have to pull it with a tractor, and then you have to go around all these. So that's like kind of free things. Whereas when I bought this lorry, this means that rather than connecting the tractor up, I can just go straight to the water tank. Trying to take damage. Everything does wear out as well. Plus there is fuel in the game. So you can start filling up there. You can take this. Sorry. Okay, so that water tank is 97% full. And then that fills it up. Unfortunately, with the water, there isn't there is no visuals for filling up the water, unlike the manure where the trailer does tip manure in. So, like, let's run over to field 18. Oh no, I'll show you all the stuff first. Okay, so tractors. Small, medium and large type tractors, which there's a lot of variety. Different types of tractors. Those two are modded, so those are two I've added to the game. The medium tractors, and it goes on and on. Then you've got trucks. All these are standard trucks, and then that's a modded one. That's modded. That's also modded. And there's many more as well. This is just the ones I've downloaded. You got harvesters, things for potatoes, harvest potatoes. The price on that is 500 grand, so you've got to do some hours to get up to that kind of money. What else is there? There's cars. At the moment, it's just those two, but obviously that's a modded car. There is stuff like Ford Mustangs. There's a Ford Transit van you can download. So basically, the game is kind of, I'd say like kind of 30%, and you just download whatever you want. There's one forklift, and then you can go across to that one, which is trailers, or things you would pull, I should say. So, like the cedar I've got, which I showed you a minute ago, was that one, and that'll plant and seed. But lots of different things to look at, because that one is rated at 180 horsepower, which means basically that your tractor has to have at least 180 horsepower to operate it. And then the higher you go, the more power you need from your tractors. How should I show you? Different attachments for the tractors, low loaders for loading stuff on. That's the one I've got again, which is modded. This is where you can buy your pallets of fertilizer. So like for the seeder I've got, you would buy a pallet, which then gets sent to the store, so you can take your tractor with the seeder on the back, with the sprayer on the back, and fill it up there. Seeds for trees. You got animal pens. You can have chickens, you can have cows, horses. You can ride the horses as well, which I haven't done yet, but apparently you can do it. Pigs, sheep, and on some of the downloaded maps, again, there's modified maps by people. You can have goats, you can have chickens. No, you got chickens already. There's something else. Ducks, I think. And then you got sheds. So you can you got farmhouses there as well. Again, there's one there, but if you go into the modding menu, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can download. So looking there at field 18, I don't know what that is. That looks like sunflowers. Sunflowers. And that's ready to harvest. Now that's not my field, but if I go to contracts, which is that one, field 18 will be there somewhere. There we go. So to harvest that's all the equipment I would need. So if we accept that, I'll show you quick, because we're not that far away. I didn't really look to see what header I would need on that. Sunflowers. I think I've got the right header. Or maybe I don't. I don't know. So we'll take the truck, because we'll need that. If you turn the difficulty up, when you drive over crops it will damage them, but I think most people turn that off. He's lying. Right, this is where we find out the combine's got the wrong attachment. With all the vehicles you can go first person. The steering wheel is a bit off-putting. Apparently you can use this with a wheel. I've not tried. Yeah, we got the wrong header. Okay. So we need one that will harvest sunflowers. I think, is that corn? Yeah, okay. Right, so we can either buy that or we can rent it. I'm gonna rent it, which is £1,000. We don't need this header, so we'll get rid of that. Downside is now I've got to drive to the store to pick up the correct header. I don't know if you can see, but on the left hand side of the screen it says it's giving you the option to hire a worker. I'll show you that when we get there. I'd say most jobs on here you can hire workers for. Some you can't. For example, when I was baling grass, there was about 5 different things I had to do, and it would only let me hire a worker for 2 of them. Okay, so now we've got the right header. So the more expensive equipment you buy, generally speaking, it goes a little bit faster. And the wider the header is, you can get headers that are twice as big as this, which take way less time. But you need a more powerful combine to pull it, to push it. So okay, if I hit circle now, that is going to hire a worker, and I can release the controller or get out. And that will keep going now. There's a little person in there. Oh yeah. So they'll get paid, which comes out of your income. I'll get in the truck. Okay, so the computer likes to do this little half-an-hour turning round thing each time it does a row. If you were driving that, you would just turn left at the bottom of that field and then do that row. And the traffic always waits for the worker, but they won't wait for you. Okay, now you don't need to prompt the worker for him to start unloading. All you got to do is get the trailer somewhere near. Oops, sorry, crash into it. There you go. That's filling it up with sunflower seeds. Everything's got cruise control. I say everything, I think the older stuff doesn't, but most vehicles you can toggle the cruise control, so you can set it for 6 miles an hour, which is the speed of that combine, and it will keep the lorry just cruising at 6 miles an hour, which is kind of cool. And then if I pull away, that will stop. So basically what you tend to do is go and park up somewhere, listen to the radio, and then when his tank is full, you'll get a prompt saying that his tank is 80% full, and then you drive the truck over. So you can leave your worker alone now. He'll carry on doing that. How's this field doing? So it's saying fertilized 50% on this field. So we can go back to the farm. We use the Fiat actually. Oh, come on. The bucket. that. Fill that up with herbicide or fertilizer. I won't put the tank on the front because we don't need it. Right, so checking the ground now, it says 100%. It lied! It said 50% a minute ago. Oh, and he's lying. Well, anyway. What should we do? Should we... It's saying 100%, we don't need to fertilise it really. No, we'll wait. We'll leave it there ready. Yeah, I mean, there isn't a huge amount left to show you. Fill that back up, I suppose. That's filling it up with manure. Carry on doing if we get out? Yeah, for a little bit. So yeah, every field is got something different. Where it's close. So okay, over here we got some. I think is that canola or something. Canola growing there. That's you do that with a combine. What's this field over here? That looks like grass. Oh no, there's nothing in it. Okay, so that needs to be limed, which is basically like fertilizing. But you use a tanker on the back rather than a sprayer. And that is wheat, which also is 0% fertilized. So again, both of those will be contracts. That'll be a contract for lime. That'll be a contract for fertilizing, which you can do, or you can ignore them. If you ignore them, they just time lapse, and it'll go to the next stage. I can't show you any livestock or anything like that because I haven't got any. I'm at the limits really of what I can put in this area now. I can show you. So when you come to, so that would be to buy a chicken coop, but that's all the land that I would put it on. I can put it in my farmed land there, but it'd be right in the middle. I don't want to do that. But once you get your chicken coop, then you can go and buy chickens, and then you have to feed them, which it depends on what different animals are. Chickens are quite easy because you just buy wheat, or you can use the wheat from your field. So I've planted wheat here with the view to the next field I buy, which will probably be 18. I could put a chicken coop in this grassland. Now what I would do is farm most of that wheat when it's ready, and then a little bit I'll keep back and I can feed that to the chickens. When you start a game, you start with about 500 grand, and it's up to you what you do. You can go and buy a tractor and do contract work. You don't have to buy anything. You can just do contract work and hire stuff, or you can buy your own land and start buying the stuff to farm that. So you're not restricted to what you do. Again, I didn't really explain very well, but basically, if you just decide you want to cut down trees, you can buy land in the game which has got lots of trees on, and basically then you can buy forestry equipment, which is lots of different types of machines for cutting down, or you can cut them down with a chainsaw yourself. So if you don't want to farm, you can do logging, which is good. Still 100%. But yeah. I don't think there's a lot else I can show you for the meantime. So I'll log off and thank you for watching. How do I log off? Oh yeah.